Hey, good morning, small business owners, and welcome to Monday Morning Metrics. My name is Rebecca Burnick, and every Monday at 10:30 Central Time, I jump on Facebook Live and I talk about finance. I talk about money. I talk about small business. I talk about financial management and what that means. So today, 10:30, we're going to talk today about the Officeheads 5-gear financial management system. So this is something that I created a number of years ago because I had a passion outside of my business. First of all, I love what I do. So my passion is my business, but I also raced vintage motorcycles. So this is really timely today because I just got back, as a matter of fact, at like 3:30 this morning, drove in from Birmingham, Alabama, being on in the pits of the motorcycle races at Barber Motorsports Park for 4 or 5 days, sleeping in a tent on asphalt. It was awesome. So it reminded me of how and why I created the Officeheads 5-gear financial management system, because there are so many parallels about winning in business and winning on the racetrack. So I didn't race this weekend, but I hung around with all my buddies. I got to watch the races. I sang the national anthem. It was great fun, but also watching again why I took racing and pulled it into how to financially manage your business and succeed. So I want to talk about kind of a high level. I may drill down on each of the gears of the Officeheads financial management, 5-gear financial management system. So first gear, when you start your business, you have to have the right tools. Now I'm going to focus on financial management, but really this is the case for any engine that operates your business, whether it's a sales engine, a marketing engine. There's a lot of different engines that you want to be tight and tuned, right? So with financial management, you want to have the right tools. So I can also compare this to being in the pits. And I saw a bunch of my buddies with all their motorcycles in a row. Not only do you need the right tools to build the financial engine, you need a proper financial engine, which in this case is a motorcycle. Because if you're out racing, you want to make sure that that bike, you don't want to think about whether it's running. You want to make sure that it's second of mind. You have a great tool. It's going to get you to run this fantastic race, which is called business. So you have to have the right tools. At Officeheads, there are a number of tools that we recommend, and the top line easy ones are QuickBooks Online for accounting and bookkeeping, HubDoc for document management, Password Keeper to make sure that your confidential passwords are triple encrypted and safe. And then there are a number of other applications depending on your operation, because your financial engine should always be customized to what you're trying to accomplish. So do you need to track time? There's T-sheets and Harvest. Do you need to reimburse your employees as a expense reimbursement? Expensify is what we recommend. So there are a number of different digital tools that you can choose to operate your business. But the important thing is that you have the right tools, because without the right tools, you're not operating at peak performance. So that's the first gear, having the right tools. The second gear is the right team. So in motorcycle racing, you have a pit crew and they're helping the racer. And by the way, you are the racer. You're the one on the bike running it. You're the CEO of your business. You're the racer in this sense, right? But you need a pit crew around you, the right people, to make sure that everything is on track. Because when you're a startup or a solopreneur, yeah, okay, you need to wear all the hats, but there comes a time when you really do need to be surrounded by the right team. So when it comes to financial management, we take a look at all of those people on your financial team. You have the bookkeeper, and by the way, you might be doing all of these roles. So it's important, even if you're doing all of them or outsourcing them, that you at least understand the importance of the roles and the skill sets and everything that's required to do a bang up job in each of these basic positions of a financial team. So you have the bookkeeper, who's very detail oriented and is booking every single financial transaction of your business within using the tools within QuickBooks. Then you have an accountant, and that accountant is really making sure that the work is accurate. So they're doing quality and double checks, but the accountant's job is to make sure that your financial reports are accurate. So any adjusting journal entries, doing a double check on quality of work, taking a look at those reports and just double checking to see what the story tells of those financial reports. You also want an analyst, someone who knows how to really read those financial reports, pull key information out of those financial reports, help you select key performance indicators. And that analyst or CFO partners with the CEO, because you as the CEO, you are responsible for the mission and the vision and the strategy of your organization. Having someone next to you who knows how to read those reports and analyzes them for you so you can take that information and implement your strategy, that is total key. That is fantastic. That you don't have to be figuring out how to read those reports to implement them to grow your business, that you have someone on your team that assists you in that area. You also need a CPA, because when it comes to tax time, you need someone who is a tax whiz and can help you with your taxes. So that's second gear. So first gear, you've got your tools. Second gear, you've got your team. Third gear, you have processes, making sure you know what to do, when and why and how. And those processes are in every single one of those roles. So when do you do your bookkeeping? When do you do your reporting? There's things that you do every month, every week throughout the year to have a specific process that's documented, tried and true, that you know how to implement, and that everyone on your team is doing it on the right time and you're working as a team. So I'm not going to go into depth about Officeheads processes, but we do have an ebook on our website. And after this Facebook Live, I'll go in and I'll put a link in there if you want to take a look at it. It tells you what we think you should be doing, what, when, why, and how, what, when, and why in terms of process for financial management. So that's third gear. You need your tools, first gear. You need your people, the right people on your team, second gear. Third gear, what to do, why, when, and how. Fourth gear, understand your history. So this is when you take 3 steps back and you take a look at those reports and you truly do understand what those reports are saying. And that's all historic, because your bookkeeper's putting in history. I spent this money. I got this money in. No matter what, it's always historic. So you sit back and you say, I need to understand my history. So once you figure out the trends of the past 12 months, the past couple of years, where you're going with how is your revenue, where are you spending your money, and to truly understand that history, the fifth gear, and that's going to take you to the top and take you to the podium, is applying that knowledge of your history to the future. That's planning for your future. So if you know in the past that you've been able to increase revenue by 10% every year, you can look forward and say, I'm going to increase my revenue by 10%. But if you know you've got something new coming on, you could say, you know what? I think it can be 15%, and this is how I'm going to do it. Same thing with picking your KPIs. If you're a service business, and I'll use Officeheads as an example, and I've used this example before, our biggest expense is direct labor. I know, looking at my history, that 33% is a magic number when it comes to my direct labor. And I know that I want my direct labor to be 33% of my revenue. So as I've learned that from my history, and I'm using that for the future. So now I know when to hire, when depending on my sales, I know when to hire, I know when to get all of those other engines in place so I can recruit and get new people in and train them so we don't miss a beat. So that's how it all ties together to meet your goals and to grow with as little growing pains as possible. 1, have the right tools. 2, have the right team. 3, the proper processes that are tried and true that everybody's doing to keep that engine running. 4, fourth gear, know your history. So 5, you can plan for your future. That is the Officeheads 5-gear financial management system. Makes sense to me. All of that I learned from motorcycle racing, because you have to know all of that on the track. You have to understand all of that if you're going to go around that track on your 8 laps and try to make it to number 1. Work, work, work. It's hard, it's good, but it can be done with a great group of people and a great process design. So if you have any questions about our 5-gear financial management system, you know where to find me. But I will come back. I'll put a link to my ebook if you want to read a little bit more. Kind of high level, but it makes sense to me. If you're interested, reach out. If not, come back next Monday to the next Monday Morning Metric. Give me some comments on what you think about this particular topic, new topics you want me to cover. Always want to be out there and answering questions that you have about your business. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Have a great and profitable week.